Hello UO, and welcome to Cozy Clubby Corner, your one-stop shop for all clubs and organizations on campus to help make your time here comfy and cozy. Find out when and where club meetings are held, learn about upcoming events, and best of all, listen in as we find out about the various groups you can join. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. For clubs and organizations meeting this week, we have Monday, Q&A meets 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in Mott 108. C3 meets 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Cutler Student Center. Comic Cupboard takes place 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. in the Cutler Student Center. Pride in Place happens at 3 p.m. in the Health and Wellness Center. And the UO Rotaract Club meets 3:30 p.m. Cutler Student Center. On Thursday, BSU happens from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the African American Culture Center. And QTV happens on Thursday as well, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Library Theater Room. As many of you know, it is homecoming week here on campus, so a lot of events are taking place. Tonight, for Tuesday, it will be midnight breakfast from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the KC. And then tomorrow, we have window painting taking place in the KC from 1 to 5 p.m. And then later that day, starting at 9 p.m., there will be Teen Beach movie shown in the Cutler Athletic Center. After that, the next day, on Thursday, will be a banner parade starting at 6:20 p.m. from the conservatory to the Cutler Athletic Center, where there will then be a pep rally at 7 p.m. After that, we have Friday flag football down in the Cutler Athletic Center at 7 p.m. And then, of course, because this is a show through WOCR, I gotta promote them a little bit. Saturday is WOCR's 50th birthday party from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. down in the KC basement, so make sure to stop by for that. And you could even pop by for just a few minutes, and it would give you plenty of time before the banner parade starting, following the parade route of Conservatory to Cutler Athletic Center. For clubs that are participating, they must show up at 11 a.m. But for anyone that wants to be there just to watch the parade, it doesn't start until 11:15 a.m. After that, you go down to the Cutler Athletic Center, where there will be a football game taking place starting at 2 p.m. So make sure to be there. It's definitely very hype, as I've experienced in my 3 years here so far. It is incredible. Just the energy is so amazing, and you will absolutely love it. The campus is so alive during homecoming, and you just gotta experience it. Even if it's just once, that's all you really need. So definitely be there. With all that being said, before we really dive into this episode, I want to take a moment to talk about Cozy Clubby Corner and why it's being made. So this is a podcast made with the support of WOCR 89.1 to report on clubs or organizations on campus that students, much like myself, can join. It can be difficult to find your right group, but it doesn't have to be. So that's why I'm starting this show, to help bring awareness to students about groups on campus. Back when I first got to campus, I had no idea what to get involved with, but I have absolutely no regrets in getting involved because it's helped me form connections that will last a lifetime. I can't guarantee that it will help everyone, but an impact on a few people can make a big difference for small groups. And just because I'm hosting this show does not mean I will be speaking for those clubs. You know, I'm not a part of every single club on campus, so I can't really talk from a first-hand experience about what it's like to be in those clubs. So each week I will be inviting members of
various different clubs to come onto the show and talk about their club. But with all that being said, let's get started with the show. I got a lovely show lined up for y'all today, so sit back, relax, and enjoy learning about the clubs and organizations to help find your own cozy corner on campus. I'm very excited. This is the first show, so unfortunately, I do not have a special guest for this week, but starting next week, we will start to have different people from various groups interviewing once a week. Fortunately, though, I am in fact a part of a club, and not just a part of it, I'm actually president of Q&A. So today we will be talking about Q&A and really getting into what they are as an organization here on campus so that y'all can see, oh, hey, is this maybe a club that I want to join? Now, with all that being said, let's jump right into the episode. Today, we are going to be talking about Q&A, aka Queers and Allies. As many of you probably don't know, I'm president of Q&A, Madison Ellis, and I run that on Monday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. down in Mott 108, right next to the Gender Resource Center. Because we're a support group, we end up doing a lot of fun activities together to bond and really feel more connected with each other. That includes like club activities such as just little games like Two Truths, One Lie. That's a game that we've played, and it was super fun, super popular. A lot of people enjoy doing that. So it's just a wonderful time, really. Now, one thing to note is that because we're a support group, we really emphasize being an open and inclusive environment. And that includes not only we're open to students on campus, but we're even open to staff and faculty. They can absolutely join our meetings at any point in time, and it's always super fun having them there. Primarily, our demographic is students at the moment, with a fairly small amount of students, but we're starting to see an increase in our numbers this semester, so very excited to see how that ends up going and how our club numbers end up growing over this course of the semester, because we do a lot of events around campus. One thing that some of you might have seen definitely around campus is our QTV flyers. We do that every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. down in the library theater room. If anyone doesn't know where that is located, that would be right next to ITS. So when you go downstairs, see the ITS desk, go to the right, and it's just past that door. And there you go, you're in the library theater room. But we also do other events throughout the school year. Just this past weekend, we went to the Ren Fair as a group, which everyone had an amazing time. Everyone was just all smiles and giggles the entire time, which was just, it was so wonderful to see all of the people that I personally consider them to be my closest friends. It was really amazing getting to see them smiling and just having the best time of their lives. Beyond that, though, we do also do other trips and events. Last year, near the end of the spring semester, we had a trip to see the drag show down in, oh God, what was it? I believe it was in Marshall. It should have been in Marshall. I think so. Pretty sure. Could be wrong, but, you know, that's okay. Nobody's perfect, and that's exactly what we strive for. We don't strive for perfection. You don't have to be the perfect advocate in order to be a part of our group. You just have to care about what you're here for. And that's all that we really can ask of you. And just because we do trips outside of campus does not mean that we don't do don't do activities on campus. My apologies. So one event that I really want to try to make sure that we do this year is the coming out door. And it's a door that we place in the Mott lobby, so that then people can walk through the door and they can fill out a little piece of paper saying, like, I'm coming out as this, or I'm coming out as that. Some people put down that they're coming out as gay, but they could also be coming out as an ally. They could be coming out as an artist. It doesn't matter necessarily what you put down. It's just whatever you want to be known about your identity. That's what you're coming out with. And that's just the real beauty of the event, being able to say, hey, this is who I am. This is the person that I am, and I hope that you accept me. But if not, I still know who I am. At the end of the day, I still care about the person that I am, and I stand by this. And that's really what coming out is all about. It's about expressing yourself and who you are as a person, not necessarily, oh, I'm going to make this big deal about who I am just to rub it in people's faces. No, that's not what it is. In fact, that's typically a stereotype about LGBTQ people, is that we just want to rub it in everyone's face. And it's really not that. It's just, we're glad of the people that we are. You know, we're made the way that we are, and we can't change that. All we can do is really just enjoy life as it comes. And that's the beauty of it all. But we also do other fun things, like recognizing our members and the people who have supported our group throughout the years. We've done this thing called Lavender Graduation, where it's a miniature graduation ceremony for anyone that's graduating in our group. And they come up and they receive a little certificate of, you have been an ally and advocate of our group during your years here. And you also get a rainbow cord that you can wear on your day of graduation, which has always been super amazing for people that have gone. Every time that I see pictures, I'm just like, oh, I remember how excited that person was. You know, everyone who's ever been in our group, it's been so amazing to see them enter our group and leave our group. And I don't think that there's ever really been a negative experience with that, which is really amazing. But we're also open to expanding our group activities, such as one thing that we used to do that we're trying to work on getting back up is Queer Book Club, where each semester we get together as a small group and we read a book with LGBTQ themes or ideas, much like how QTV is, of where we watch shows or movies with LGBTQ representation. So Queer Book Club is basically that, just in book form. For all those book worms out there, it's definitely a fun time. And realistically, anyone in our group, they can absolutely initiate planning events, and we're always open to suggestions. In fact, at the end of each presentation for Q&A, I have an anonymous feedback survey that is set on a QR code, so you would just scan that with your normal phone, and boom, you get to the survey. It doesn't collect any of your emails, so no matter what you put on there, I cannot connect it back to you. It's solely just giving me the response, and that's it. So there is no pressure in terms of that. You don't have to worry of, oh, are they going to think that I'm being mean or something? Like, no, it's okay. we're always open to suggestions. We're always open to new people. And in fact, we encourage that we get more input from students and people that enter our group, including staff and faculty, as I've mentioned before. Now, what I would like to talk about in terms of upcoming things with Q&A is that as of today at around 2 p.m. I put up this week's QTV poll. So for any students, staff, or faculty that's on Rafter, you can go onto the app and go to my poll. This week's options are Lightyear, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Grace and Frankie. So those are wonderful options. Lightyear is a movie, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is a TV series, and so is Grace and Frankie. So for those two, if those end up getting picked, we only watch the first 2 hours worth of the show. This is not only a matter of, it's basically just a matter of we want to get through as many things on the list as possible, and so we try to make sure that you get a little bite-sized version of it, and then we can go on to the next show. And then also, if someone joins QTV a few weeks down the line, they don't have to worry about, I don't know what happened in this show prior to me joining in, and then they feel discouraged from going to QTV. So that's why we make sure that it's a new show or movie every week. And we always go with the top poll answer, and then whatever gets second place, we tend to put it in the next week's poll. So if your thing doesn't win this week, make sure to look for next week, because if it was in second place, it'll probably be in this week's next poll. And if not, that's also okay, because we rotate them. So it's not going to be like, this didn't win, so it's never going to be seen again. No, we rotate them around. So if it doesn't win, it's not lost forever. And of course, if you come to me directly and say, hey, I really think that we should watch this show, absolutely, I am more than willing to listen to you and make sure to put it on the poll. I'm very much a democratic person, though, so unfortunately I will not be overriding the opinion of the people. So whatever wins, that's what we're watching. No questions about it. But I'll definitely put it on the poll. And that's the amazing part about small groups, is that voices tend to get heard more when we're small. But we also want new opinions. We want new faces, more friends to make, more people to feel like they're family. There's a lot of people in our group that obviously we can't say any names because we have a strict confidentiality policy, but there have been members in our group that have absolutely just felt really unwelcomed in their home life, and so they've come to our group and have felt way more connected and accepted than they've ever felt before. And honestly, when it's those people that come by, it's always kind of sad, because it's like you learn to really care about the people in the group. And so to see that they're really devastated, realizing how much they missed out with not having people to call really close family before, it's devastating to see that. But it's also kind of heartwarming to realize that, hey, they feel way happier now that they're in this group than before. So, I apologize. I'm getting all sappy with y'all. Y'all don't want to hear this. Alright, going back to the important stuff. Now, we do have a huge fundraiser that we're working on getting the supplies for. So any clubs out there that want to get involved with that, please reach out to me at mcellis@uolivet.edu to get involved with that and get details. I'm not going to confirm anything here live in the studio because I don't want people to get too overly excited and things aren't finalized yet. Right now, we don't have a set start date because we don't have all the supplies that we need, but as soon as we have those details, I guarantee you guys, I will be absolutely putting it all over campus. I'm going to be advertising it so much. You're going to be so sick of me, but that's okay because this is going to be a fundraiser that will be including at least 10 clubs. We're looking for about 10 clubs to get involved with this, and once it's confirmed, you guys will understand exactly why it has to be that many clubs, and I'm just so excited to see y'all's reaction to that. It's going to be a wonderful time, and everyone that I've brought this idea up to has been like, oh my god, that's amazing. My school did this, and it was really exciting for all the students involved. So I think y'all will be pretty happy. So yeah. So in the end, Q&A, really accepting group, really open. We've had staff and faculty even join us in the past. It doesn't matter if you're LGBTQ, you could be just an ally and going to our group, or you could even just be trying to learn about how to support a family member who is LGBTQ or a close friend who's LGBTQ, because we've also had that, you know? There are some people that just come to our group wanting to learn more because they don't understand their close friend or family of why they're doing this, of all coming out and acting the way that they do, because sometimes it's difficult to feel empathy. And that sounds silly because empathy is so deeply important. However, it's just kind of how it is, you know? It's difficult to relate to someone if you've never experienced that before. So we've had straight cis people coming in to our group and learning about what it is about LGBTQ, having answers about questions such as, oh, how do I use they, them pronouns? Well, if you find a wallet on the street and you didn't see who dropped it, you would look at it and go, oh, someone dropped their wallet. You don't know if it was a boy or girl or whatever, so you would just say they or their. And that's quite the easiest explanation that tends to click it in a lot of people's minds of how to use they, them pronouns, which is very exciting that that works. So yeah, anyone is welcome at any time. We're located down in Mott 108, Monday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. QTV happens in the library theater room on Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And if you need to contact me at any point, email me, reach out to me at mcellis at uolivet.edu, and I will make sure to respond to your email as soon as possible. Again, that is mcellis@uolivet.edu. And thank you all so much for joining me today, and I really look forward to promoting various clubs and events throughout this semester, not only for my own group, but also for other groups. So before this show ends, I'd love to take a moment to restate the clubs and events taking place this week. That includes C3 tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Cutler Student Center. On Wednesdays, Earthbound meets at 10 a.m. down in Mont 104. Comets Cupboard happens 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. in the Cutler Student Center. Pride and Place happens 3 p.m. in the Health and Wellness Center. UO Rotaric happens 3:30 p.m. in the Cutler Student Center. And then finally, Thursday, we have BSU 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the African American Culture Center. And then QTV happening 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Library Theater Room. Those are the clubs that are happening. And now on to what is happening this week for events, because of course it is homecoming week, so a lot is happening. Midnight breakfast tonight, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. down in the KC. Window painting, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the KC. Teen Beach movie happening 9 p.m. in the Cutler Athletic Center. And those past two events, I apologize, I should have said those are happening tomorrow on Wednesday. And now on to Thursday, there's the banner parade happening starting 6:20 p.m. from the conservatory to the Cutler Athletic Center, where there will then be a pep rally starting at 7 p.m. in the Athletic Center. Following that, on Friday is flag football starting 7 p.m. in the Cutler Athletic Center. WOCR's 50th birthday is happening Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. down in the KC basement. And the banner parade, this time for the actual day of homecoming, that will happen at 11:15 a.m. for starting in the conservatory to the athletic center. But for any clubs or organizations participating with their banners, they are expected to show up at 11 a.m. This is so that they have enough time to settle everything and get everything started for that 11:15 a.m. start. And then finally, football game, 2 p.m. in the Cutler Athletic Center. And make sure to tune in to WOCR 89.1 The One, whether it be through the radio or online on our website, so that then you can hear the lovely words of Jack Webb broadcasting that game. And I will actually be board op for that game, which will be very wonderful, and I'm very excited. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, I am Madison Ellis at mcellis@uolivet.edu. The Instagram page for this event, for this show, is Cozy Clubby Corner, underscores in between Cozy and Clubby, and underscore with between Clubby and Corner. So yeah, thank you all so much, and have a wonderful day, UO. That's all for today, folks. So get out there, find your club, create your own club, or if you're not sure, then tune in next week to learn more about everything this cozy little campus has to offer.